Gene dubbed his own taps, so don't believe that somebody else did that for him. Now, the process of dubbing taps was very, very difficult. Gene hated to tap dance in movies because of it, because what he had to do is, these movies are all shot to a playback. They record the music first, and then they come in and they perform with music on the lily horns to playback. And then the tap dancing has to be dubbed in after. So Gene went into a booth with a headset, with a microphone dangling at his ankles, watched himself on the screen and had to duplicate what he was doing and hit everything. And he said he had to be very, very careful not to get that wire wrapped around his ankles to break his ankles. So he also brought his assistants in to try to come up with the sound of tap dancing in water. And you'll read that other people did that. No, it was Gene. It was just regular hard taps. But it was the great sound engineer, Bill Saraceno, who came up with the kind of squishy water sound that you'll hear. Now, it is true that the water pressure, everyone came home from work in Culver City and took a shower in the afternoon, and the water pressure went way down. So they had to cut off shooting and then hang more rigging and be able to shoot the next day. Now, Cyd Charisse was never to be in the original picture. It was to be Donald O'Connor and Gene in the final Broadway melody, but Donald had a previous commitment and had to leave the picture, and Debbie's dancing wasn't sufficient to do a big number like that, so they brought Cyd Charisse in. Now, when you watch her, this was the first time ever that Cyd had danced to jazz music. She was a trained classical dancer, and Gene said he had to get her off point and to do jazz, and it's extraordinary what you see. And he modeled her after, he had a childhood crush on the great actress Louise Brooks, so he modeled her bob and her costume after that. The censors came in repeatedly and would measure the décolletage of the woman and the length of the skirt. And Gene would wait till they left, and you'll see that the green skirt goes to her knee, and then he slid it up so you could have, it's not salacious, it's just so you have the longest extension of her leg, which you must have in that. The scarf number was created with the equivalent of 3 airplane motors. They're called Ritter fans for those of you who are in that business. And Gene, I have photographs of him in the archives where he had to actually choreograph the Ritter fan operator to hit him at just the right point so that that fan would shoot up. He said the torque on his body as he lifted Cyd into the air was extraordinary and had to turn her and choreograph and make that hit. So keep that in mind. And that was considered so racy in many countries that sequence, they figured out that it's lovemaking, and so in Spain they cut that sequence out of the picture.